Hi, it's Sarah from South Bay Township Library, and today I'd like to recommend my latest read, Circe by Madeline Miller. This book was a New York Times bestseller, and it was on my to-be-read list for a very long time. I was intimidated to read it because I felt that my knowledge of Greek mythology was pretty sparse, and because Circe appears in Homer's epic poem, The Odyssey, and I had never read that either. But one of Madeline Miller's goals in writing Circe was to make Greek mythology more accessible to a wider audience because she personally was in love with these epic tales. And for me, she satisfied that goal and then some. The book is beautifully written and it's told from Circe's point of view. In Homer's Odyssey, Circe appears in only a few dozen lines. Madeline Miller took those few dozen lines and wove a story around Circe's whole life. We learn that Circe was very lonely as a child. She felt like she didn't fit in. She wasn't powerful like her father, Helios, the god of the sun. And she wasn't beautiful like her mother, Circe, the nymph. And her sister Pasiphae and her brother, Perses, never let her forget it. She was an extremely lonely child. Through an encounter with her uncle, she becomes interested in mortals, and she falls in love with a mortal who's a fisherman named Glaucus. Circe turns Glaucus into a god. But as a god, Glaucus is not very interested in Circe. He becomes very interested in the beautiful nymph Scylla. Out of jealousy and anger, Circe turns Scylla into a six-headed monster. And for doing that, Zeus exiles her to the island of Ayah for eternity. Instead of feeling like she's in exile on Ayah, Circe feels a sense of freedom. She comes to learn more about herself and hone her witchcraft abilities. While she's on Ayah, she interacts with several gods like Athena, and she interacts with Hermes, who knows everything that's going on in everyone's life. And he keeps Circe informed about her sister, about her brother, her parents, and the other gods and goddesses, which is very, very interesting. Eventually, Odysseus sails with his crew to Ayah from the Trojan War. He's on his way home to Ithaca, and they stop in Ayah, and they stay for 1 year. Circe falls in love with Odysseus and is so sad to see him leave after a year's time. But she's in for a surprise. The greatest two loves of her lives are yet to come. The book is wonderfully written, very well imagined, and I listened to most of it on audio, and it was fantastic. The narrator did a great job. Madeline Miller also wrote the Song of Achilles. I hope you check out Madeline Miller's books. Her writing is truly amazing. Have a great week, and I hope you'll stay well.